Alright everyone, this video we're going to go over the install of some heated lock-on motorcycle grips. So, enjoy. Alright everyone, so here's the kit that I just installed on my bike. It's the Tusk lock-on heated motorcycle grips. You know, I normally run these ODI lock-on grips because they're awesome, the Epic version. But I figured I'd show you guys once these are on, kind of how they feel. There's 100 videos you can probably watch on how to install grips and wire stuff up. So we're not going to really touch into that. But I'll show you how they fit on my KTM. I'm putting these on because I got a cold race coming up here. Actually just a couple days. And so we'll get started here. First of all, I know it looks like there's a ton of shit on my handlebars, and that's because there is a ton of shit on my handlebars. Here's where I ended up mounting the switch for the heated grips. I wired these directly to my battery with an inline fuse. Build-wise, these are cheap. I mean, they're cheap. They're 50 bucks. So, you know, I plan on using these, taking them off, and you know, maybe just using them a few times. If you plan on keeping these on for a long time, I would probably go with a different kit. They just seem cheap. But other than that, you know, there's a whole freaking mess of wiring that goes with it. And honestly, after this coming race, I am gonna take them off, like I said. So we'll get into it. First thing, let me grab an extra grip here. So these are your standard lock-on grips. As you can see, where that ends is shorter. This part right here sticks out farther. So one thing I had to do right from the get-go is I had to slide everything down a hair. Had to do the same for on this. This gap that's right here is more than your regular grip, so it shoots out a little bit farther. So I had to move everything. Over this way. Not a big deal, but just something to note. Also, since this is a heated grip and your throttle moves, you have a cable right there. I didn't even think about it, but I can't foresee it being a problem. I went ahead and I used some electrical tape here, and there's a little tiny zip tie, and it's nothing super tight, but it's to keep that wire there. And then of course this comes down and then ties. I have it fastened to my kill switch right there. On my bike, I do run my starter on this side. That way when I start, I can be boom. Other than that, there's 5 modes. It comes with this bar mount, and this bar mount is, it's kind of chintzy. I'm probably have to do something. I don't know. It might stay. Like I said, after Keithsburg, it's probably going to come off. Other than that, oh, the other big thing. These grips, these heated grips, are thicker than a regular grip. So let's grab the micrometer. So 32, 29. So if you have tiny hands, it's going to be a bigger grip. Just something I didn't think about. As far as slide them on, the grip slid on just fine. Everything installed just fine. This is a 12 KTM 2-stroke. I think that's about it. I like them. I mean, they do get warm too. But this is the end result. So I'm gonna have them on at Keithsburg. We'll see how they work. It came with everything except I had to put a eyelet. I put a heat shrink eyelet on that right there on the positive side because they want you to wire it into like a headlight switch. Of course, this doesn't have a headlight switch. Yada yada yada. But you got 3 settings, and they do get warm. It takes a while for them to get warm. And the draw is not really that bad either. This thing puts out like 13.8 volts. When they're on max, it's at like 13.1. And of course, I did check it with a meter. And the bike will start. If I kill the bike and they're on max, it'll start back up. This thing's cold. I don't even know if it'll start right now. Yeah, but it cranks just fine. And that's with them on max. If we even got the fuel on. But, so, So that's it. Overall, you know, for 50 bucks, they're cheap. I don't imagine if I was to keep them on all race season, I'd probably destroy them. You know, this is kind of where the wire comes out. It's kind of cheap as well. You know, especially if I wash this thing, I feel like that's gonna get corroded. I don't feel like this is very waterproof. But you know, if you gotta, you know, I don't really ride in cold weather like when it's 30 out. So that being said, that's it. So that's my review on these Tusk lock-on heated motorcycle grips, and we'll see how they perform. I'll get back to everybody at the end of Keysburg. Peace out.